once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Smoky Room. Here we are, having fun. Hey. Um, there's three subjects I'm gonna briefly speak about. And I guess that's probably gonna be the format going forward. I love that term, going forward, or in lieu of. I love that one too. In lieu of termination. Okay. Um, the first subject I'm going to touch on is Memorial Day. What is Memorial Day? It has come to my attention, uh, believe it or not, that there are many people in America that have no clue what the hell Memorial Day is. And that's very, 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 very sad. Especially to those that have given their lives, their limbs, and their mind for their country. This country, which so many young men and women have thought was worth giving their lives, their limbs, and their mind for. To live in a government that offers individuals freedom, that believes that our freedoms come from God and not from man, in a country where you can aspire to be whatever you want, even though there are those telling you you can't, because a certain group of white people are keeping you down. Well, Memorial Day is not just a day to go out and cook hamburgers and hot dogs, although I am going to make some kick ass ribs. I'm not saying you can't do that, but that's not what the reason is. A lot of people see it as the start of summer, you know, but in reality, I believe we started observing Memorial Day after the carnage of World War One, and for those of you who may not even know there was a World War One, I would highly suggest you do some reading on that subject. There's numerous books, The Guns of August, also this one here, which you can't see just yet. Whoops, Daisy, it's not here as usual. You know, why break tradition, right, folks? There it is. I'm sorry. It was on my desk after all. A World Undone. The Great War. Killing on such a massive scale. So that's what Memorial is. We set a day and remember those that have given their lives for our freedoms. Now, by saying that, okay, or by observing that particular day does not make you a individual that necessarily believes in war. I mean, after all, war sucks. Uh, War destroys people in a lot of different ways. Innocent people die, brave people die, people get cut to pieces by red hot pieces of metal going through their body. that's what happens in war, um, in combat. I'm not a combat veteran, although I am a veteran, and I did serve during part of the Vietnam War anyway. But that doesn't. I'm not a combat veteran. I wasn't in Vietnam. I was in Colorado Springs. I had a blast. I mean, I hate to say that, but Jesus God, I mean, I had some fun. Anyway, also with the old breed, if anybody, and I'll be honest with you, there's parts of this that are just hard to read. It's freaking nightmarish what this individual went through. E.B. Sledge. This is a military masterpiece. Okay, describing this guy, this Marine, describing his combat experiences in Peleliu, and I believe either Iwo Jima or Okinawa. I get them two mixed up. I think it was Okinawa he went to and lived to write about it. So if you're interested in learning a little bit about what real combat back then was like, I would highly recommend this. All right. This is why we celebrate Memorial Day. Because whether you believe it or not, we do live in the greatest country in the world. That's my opinion, and I'm going to stick to it, and I'm willing to fight for that. When you're running down my country, man, you're walking on the fighting side of me. Who sang that? Anybody? 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 That guy in the back again. Merle Haggard. Okay, so we touched on Memorial Day and what that is. Now, speaking of days, keeping it, somewhat connected. January 6th, 2021. Now, I'm sure I could probably find a college student somewhere or a senior in high school that could not give you any rough definition of why we celebrate Memorial Day other than making the kind of foods that are associated with Memorial Day and getting ready for summer. But they probably will be able to tell you about January 6th, of course. I mean, January 6th will go down as the most horrific event that ever happened at the United States Capitol. After all, that is what our propaganda ministry is putting out there. That is what our communist representatives are putting out there. That this was a day that will live in infamy. Anybody know where that comes from? Dun, 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 dun. Well, anyway. December 7th. December 7th, 19. Day of Infamy, December 7th. Harbor. Pearl Harbor. There you go. Got it. Son of a gun. You people are smart. So, yes, January 6th is going down as matter of fact, January 6th has also beaten 9/11 as the most a horrific day in American history. Why the hell was that? Well, what happened is that one day, which that day happened to be January 6th, one day, you know, um, this guy from West Virginia, Roy, was talking to his buddy Henry, and he said, hey, Henry, yeah, Roy, you know, I don't have anything to do today, and I'm bored as hell. My dog doesn't even want to get up. So I am thinking on going down to Washington. Well, going up to Washington. I don't know. Well, I want to go to Washington D.C. and start an insurrection and change this government over. And Henry said, "Well, Roy, how are we going to do that?" Well, I'm going to tell you, Henry. I want to load my pickup with ammo and rifles and hand grenades, and we're going to drive down to the Capitol and tell them what for. And Henry said, "Well, Roy, that sounds like a pretty damn good idea. Let's go do that, and we'll see what happens." Well, they got there, and they started throwing hand grenades at the Capitol, and then they shot a bunch of no, wait a minute, that didn't happen. What happened? Oh, what really happened? Does anybody know? Anybody? Anybody? Any guy in the back again? What happened was there were thousands of Americans that gathered at the Capitol. Okay. They were asked to be there by the President of the United States, the most hated man in human frickin' history, Donald Trump. Hey, you could get killed for saying that name, you know that? He asked them to show up and show how angry they were for having their vote stolen. And the proof is coming out. Make no mistake about that. The proof is coming out. Slowly, but proof is coming out. They were angry. Did they have a right to be there? Of course they did. Did they really do anything wrong? No. You're allowed to protest in front of the Capitol. um, Doors were open and left open. There's video evidence of that, and people went in. Oh yeah, a cop got hit with an American flag on a pole. Yeah, that's right. Cop got hit with an American flag that was on a pole. And a protester who happened to be an unarmed female, which was an Air Force veteran, got killed. This insurrection that they are talking about now, if I'm just saying, now if I were with Roy and Henry, I would say, well, at least they got the right idea, because you're going to be going up against some pretty powerful forces, so you might want to be armed. Okay, if you intend to actually have an insurrection, I wouldn't just show up with flags. You know what I mean? Not one gun was taken from any protesters. do the research. Yeah, they bury that, but you can find the answers. There were no guns taken from any protesters, period. Okay, worst day at the Capitol, 1954. Anybody remember that year? 1954. You see that? Shooting in the House chamber. Shooting in the House chamber. Okay, although that January 6th is worse than this. Okay, on March 1st, 1954, while members gathered on the House floor for an upcoming vote, 3 men and 1 woman entered the visitors' gallery above the chamber and quietly took their seats. All 4 belonged to a Puerto Rican nationalist party and only hours earlier had traveled from New York City to D.C. Okay, let me get to the meat and potatoes of this. Okay, the Capitol had few security protocols at that time, and the 4 Puerto Rican nationalists entered the gallery armed with handguns around 2:30 p.m. They indiscriminately opened fire onto the House floor and unfurled a Puerto Rican flag in a violent act of protest meant to draw attention to their demands for Puerto Rico's immediate independence. Now, bomb explodes in the Capitol building. Now, anybody remember President Obama? President Obama. Anybody remember him? Anybody? Anybody? Put your hand down. He remembers him. He's got something to do with this. Not directly, but he's got something to do with this. A bomb explodes in the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., causing an estimated $300,000 in damage, but hurting no one. A group calling itself the Weather Underground claimed credit for the bombing. Credit for the bombing, which was done in protest of the ongoing war in Vietnam. The one guy, Weather Underground, that's not going to mention his name, is it? Well, anyway, if you look up the people involved in that, William Ayers, Bill Ayers, was part of that, which his house was used to kick off President Obama's presidential race. So you see where his loyalties were. Okay, anybody remember Martin Luther King? Martin Luther King? Anybody remember Martin Luther King? Judge a man by the content of his character, not the color of his skin. Anybody? Okay. Well, he was assassinated. I believe it was April 3rd or April 4th, 1968. Okay. And it sparked uprisings. You see that? That's how they worded that. You see, it says right there, right there. That word, uprisings. Okay. Yeah. In cities across, never mind. In cities across America, right? Okay. Now, in Washington, D.C., I bought this when I was a kid, and I probably bought this around 1970 or something like that. And this gives you a rundown of what went on in D.C. And if I could find that picture, here's a picture of National Guard, and here's a picture of a general being there. And here's a picture of armed guards at the Capitol building. Washington, D.C. was destroyed. But yet, January 6th is going to go down as the day that America died, or the day the music died, or Bye Bye Miss American Pie, or something. I don't even know anymore. But yeah, you know, it's interesting that uh, the insurrectionists hurt no one. Although the Capitol Police killed one of ours, unarmed. Unarmed. A female shot her in the neck and she bled to death. Right there. That's not talked a lot about. You see, because it doesn't fit their narrative. You see. Since Donald Trump, the most hated man in human history, asked for a peaceful protest and emphasized that a number of times, since it was his idea, which I think it would have happened anyway, it's got to go down as the most sad day in American history, even beating the Battle of frickin' Antietam and Gettysburg combined. That few hours at the Capitol was worse than that. Okay? According to our propaganda ministry. And you know, the interesting thing was they were mostly all white people. Evil white people wearing red hats. MAGA. Oh my God, you say MAGA. As you can tell, I lost my mind. But yeah. So I do these, and I hope people are entertained. Really, that's what this is. It's entertainment. I am putting real information out there, but I'm trying to do it sometimes in a lighthearted way, you know. Now, let's talk about Whitey. Let's talk about white people. Since we are now the new bad guy. You got good guys, you got bad guys, right? You know, when I was a kid, used to play army. I always wanted to be a good guy. But the kids in my neighborhood made me be a bad guy. Because my father fought for the Italians in World War II. So it's like, how could you be a good guy? Your dad fought for the Italians in World War II. He was with Germany. You got to be a bad guy. And I would get real upset about that, you know? I'll give you. Anyway. Okay, Department of Homeland Security. White supremacists are the greatest terror threat. Okay? Hey, got that? You see that? I don't know if you can see that. See that there? Yeah. Okay. Now, the documents are slightly different drafts of the same annual threat assessment, which is not yet published. Okay, fine. This is by Betsy Woodruff Suwan. Okay, in 2020. White supremacists resent the gravest terror threat to the United States, according to a draft report from the Department of Homeland Security. Department of Homeland Security, you got too much frickin' free time on your hands. You know that? Uh, you know, foreign terrorist organizations will continue to call for homeland attacks, but probably will remain constrained in their ability to direct such plots over the next year. All three documents say Russia probably will be the primary covert foreign influence actor and purveyor of disinformation and misinformation in the homeland, the document says. Now, keeping in mind this was written in 2020, so of course, according to the straw man they built and according to their narrative, it's got to be Russia, okay? Because, after all, if it wasn't for Russia, Hillary Clinton would have beat the living crap out of Donald Trump. No, hands down, she would have been the president. We all know that, right? Unbelievable. Former acting DHS Secretary Kevin McAleenan? McAleenan? How about Kevin? Kevin. According to Kevin, last year directed the department to start producing annual Homeland threat assessments, okay? So, Politico reviewed 3 drafts of this year's report titled DHS State of the Homeland Threat Assessment 2020, all of which were produced in August. Ben Witz, the editor-in-chief of the national security site Lawfare, obtained the documents and shared them with Politico. The first such assessment has not been released publicly, and DHS spokesman declined to comment on allegedly leaked documents and on when the document will be made public. Okay? So, anyway, none of the drafts, however, reviewed referred to a threat from Antifa. The loose cohort, but they always seem so damn organized when they want to do something, don't they? I mean, they're all wearing the same black outfits. They all know how to cover their faces, and they all have these, professionally made flags and signs. Professionally made flags. That's not cheap. They got them by the hundreds or thousands. I don't even know. But I know they're not. I was in that business. They're not cheap to do that. A loose cohort, my ass. How about that? Okay? I would bet anything. I would bet a particular body part, which I will not mention. Okay? that Antifa has done more damage than the Klan ever dreamed of. But yet, it's the white supremacists that are, out there burning cities down and building. What the hell are they even being called? Anyway, they're taking over cities. They're destroying stores. They're destroying public property. They're knocking over statues. They're hurting and killing police officers, attacking their headquarters, Minneapolis. Minneapolis. But it's the white supremacists, you see, you need to worry about. Now, if you're in an area where Antifa is possibly causing a problem, you don't need to worry. Oh no, they're not going to hurt you. You know, if uh, if you're black, if you happen to be white, that's a whole nother issue, pal. You better make sure you got a gun with you. But it's the white people that are causing the issue. The white supremacists that does that. You see. The interesting thing, though, that you need to look at is not just, who they're pointing the finger at and saying, you whitey, go to the back or whatever. No, that's not, we need to figure out or at least realize how we got here. How did we get to this place? How did we get to this place? Is it just happenstance? It just occurred that one day somebody said, you know what? We got to start going after white people. That's not what happened. No, that's not what happened. Okay? A long, long time ago, there was this bald-headed Russian guy. I'll never forget. I had a girl working for me. The last kitchen I worked in, actual industrial kitchen I worked in, her name was Nikita. And I didn't know if I was pronouncing it right. And I said, is your name Nikita? Like Nikita Khrushchev? It's a shame. Well, anyway. And she was about as worthless as you can get as far as help my ass, She was loads of help. This gal, what a pain in the ass this woman was with the nails and the hair and I don't know, but and this is probably to some of you is going to sound racist. But look, I'm a 66-year-old Italian, okay? And I'm used to certain things a certain way. And I know that you don't really find blonde black women. It's not natural. And she walks in one day with a blonde wig. And I'm looking at it. And fortunately, there was this other kid that worked for me, black guy. I loved him. Me and Todd, we got along fabulously. And matter of fact, one day after he got fired, he came in there and gave me a big hug and told me he liked working for me and everything. But he saw me looking at her. He says, "Hey, Mr. Joe, I just wouldn't say anything if I were you. Leave it the hell alone." Okay, and that's what I did. But it was funny It was funny looking. I mean, because she was very, very dark complected with this blonde. Like, what were you thinking? Talk about a freaking bad hair day. My God. But anyway, she quit, and that made me happy. So, there you have it. So, yeah, it's not like that happened. That one day they just decided to do that. What that this whole philosophy. I'm going to call it a philosophy, okay? With the white privilege, with the systemic racism, with cancel culture, you name all of this political bullshit that is going on concerning white people is nothing more than a nicely packaged philosophy, a Marxist philosophy, okay, that has been taught for a lot of years in our universities by communist professors, okay, to bring us into a socialist government. They have taken the race problem. Okay. Now, understand this. This is very, very important. They don't give a rat's behind what color you are. You see, Lenin had, not John Lennon, Vladimir Lenin, the 1918 guy, the Russian Revolution, that guy, right? Had a term for people that basically followed his orders and believed what he said. Okay? I mean, because the guy even knew he was full of shit. He called them useful idiots. So, for instance, an example would be the person that is alone in their car with the windows open wearing a mask. The person that believes white people are the reason for all the evils in the world. The person that believes in systemic racism. The person that gets down on their knees and apologizes for being white. They are the useful idiots. Those that are teaching this crap do not care about color as long as they are able to divide you and keep your mind on this and their mind on that. That's all they want to do. And then in the meantime, they go underneath or whatever it is they do. You wake up one morning and there's a new whole set of rules, and you're wondering what the hell happened to my country. That's pretty much it. Pretty much it, right? That's how I see it. Yeah. And look at what's happening. BLM. Oh Jesus God, this freaking clock. Okay. So, and I completely forgot what the hell I was saying. Thank you, Mr. Clock. BLM. You probably know that I think the founder or one of the founders, I don't know, resigned because that communist has millions invested in property. I'm just waiting to see whether or not she's going to get investigated. My money goes on no, she will not be. Because it would not be the politically correct thing to do, okay? To investigate a black woman, stealing money from an organization that she will not, you know, and now if she does, I would be very, very, very surprised on whether or not she actually goes to court and does time or something like that. I don't really see that happening. So the reason I bring that up is just to show you that, you see, look, Donald Trump received 75 million votes, they say. I think he got more than that personally. Joe, Sleepy Joe, Sippy Cup Joe, Joe the pervert Biden. Did you see the latest with that? Oh my God! You gotta get on YouTube, and he's referring to this little girl. Some, I don't know if it's a senator's kid, congressperson, whatever. Little girl, I think she was like maybe 7 or 8. And oh, he's going, oh my God, you look like a 19-year-old. It's really, it's cringeworthy. But anyway, I don't know why I brought that up. Yeah, the 75 million against the 80 million votes that Donald Trump got. There's a lot of people. Those 75 plus million people do not buy into this bullshit. Okay? Keep that in mind. Also, keep this in mind too. That means there's about 75 million people that do not want to get the vaccination, that do not want to get the mask. If I understand correctly, if the numbers are right, for only 40%, if not a little less, of this nation has received the vaccination. A lot of people don't want it. Oh, Christ. They're not going to be able to. They're going to take this down. I may not be able to post that. Hey, YouTube, I didn't mean anything about the vaccination. Okay, everybody listen. Everybody watching this, okay? You need to get vaccinated. I did. Oh, yeah, I got vaccinated. Oh, did I get. I got vaccinated 3 frickin' times just to make sure. I wear my mask everywhere. I can't wear my mask now because I'm making this video, you see? But no matter where I go, I wear my mask. Even when I'm taking a dump, I wear my mask, all right? So, but I've been vaccinated, all right? Just so we're okay with that? Yeah, Facebook, YouTube, all you people out there. Please do not remove me from Facebook, please, comrade fact-checking person, please. No, do not remove from Facebook. So yeah, there's a lot of people out there that think differently about things, and that is driving certain people insane. So with that, uh, I'm gonna leave it here, I think, and go oil paint. And I am making pizza again today. Yes, I am. I'm going to make ribs tomorrow. I'm going to make my potato salad today. My kick ass potato salad, as a matter of fact. And my pizza is going to have fresh basil on it. It's going to be nice, baby. Hey, and Donald Norcross. You see, I really can cook. I am a chef. Okay? I am a chef. As a matter of fact, you see that framed thing over there, framed certificate. Here we go. That's from the Academy of Culinary Arts. Right next door to that, right next to that is the picture, the graduating class picture of all us little chefs in our white coats and hats. Alrighty. So Mr. Donald Norcross, I keep calling your office 2, 3 times a week. I will cook for you a dinner you would not believe. Just come on over, have a conversation with me. You probably think I'm a real asshole or something, but listen, we can have a nice conversation, man to man, okay? Not politician to citizen. Just two guys. Let's sit down. Okay, maybe you want just a cheesesteak or something. I could do that. A hoagie, a tuna sandwich. I could do you my shrimp scampi, perhaps. Calamari and linguine. How about a nice steak? I do a kick-ass steak. Maybe a nice piece of salmon broiled with some asparagus, perhaps a rice pilaf. I could do a nice seafood bisque before we. And you know what you'd say, Don? You would say, you know what, Joe? Man, I should have done this a long time ago. Who the hell knows? I don't know. So with that, I am gonna go. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Yeah. Or at least perhaps these videos just cause you to think a little bit. I mean, that's what this is all about. It's just about critical thinking, really, which is a art I think that is nobody does it anymore. And a lot of people just don't think about things like, why the hell are we doing this, or where did that start, and why are they hated? Why are these people tearing down statues? I mean, why? So with that, I am going to go. Alrighty? Bye-bye.